Os Flintstones, El negocio del circo, represents a remarkable departure from the traditional portrayal of bedrock, blending the familiar domestic comedy of Fred and Wilma with the unpredictable spectacle of circus life. From the opening sequence, the film immediately signals a shift in tone by juxtaposing the quiet suburban life of the Flintstones with the raucous, chaotic energy of a traveling circus arriving in town. The camera follows a sweeping panorama of brightly painted tents, acrobats leaping through the air, and prehistoric animals performing feats that are both absurd and awe-inspiring. Fred, initially skeptical and reluctantly dragged into the circus business, embodies the tension between the familiar comforts of home and the allure of novelty and excitement. His initial interactions with circus performers are a masterclass in comedic timing, blending slapstick humor with carefully constructed dialogue that conveys both character development and narrative propulsion. One notable early scene involves Fred attempting to train a prehistoric elephant, with hilariously disastrous results that reflect his impulsive nature and impatience, while simultaneously showcasing his inherent resourcefulness. The film's cinematography alternates between broad, sweeping shots of the circus grounds and intimate close-ups of Fred, Wilma, Barney, and Betty, allowing audiences to appreciate both the grandeur of the spectacle and the nuanced emotional responses of the characters. The contrast between these visual scales enhances the dual narrative of public performance versus private domestic struggle, highlighting the characters' internal and external conflicts. Wilma emerges as an essential figure of balance and pragmatism, her intelligence and organizational skills crucial to managing the chaos that inevitably arises in circus life. Her interactions with Fred demonstrate the tension between support and exasperation, humor and genuine concern, providing a layer of emotional depth often absent in comedic adaptations of animated properties. The narrative momentum increases with the introduction of an enigmatic circus master, whose charisma and unorthodox methods challenge the Flintstones' perceptions of entertainment, risk, and personal ambition. Through his presence, the film explores themes of leadership, trust, and the allure of spectacle, questioning whether success in show business requires compromise, daring, or a suspension of moral judgment. Throughout the film, humor is deployed with sophistication, relying not merely on visual gags but on character-driven scenarios that reveal deeper truths about human nature. A particularly memorable sequence involves a juggling act gone awry, where Fred attempts to mimic the performer's skill and ends up triggering a chain reaction of chaos that affects the entire circus tent. This scene exemplifies the filmmaker's ability to orchestrate complex physical comedy while maintaining narrative coherence, ensuring that each gag contributes meaningfully to plot and character development. Sound design enhances the immersive quality of the film, with the clamor of animal calls, the percussive rhythm of drums, and the murmuring crowd coalescing into a rich tapestry that amplifies both tension and comedy. The juxtaposition of these auditory cues with Fred's bumbling attempts to navigate circus life creates a symphony of controlled chaos that is as entertaining as it is narratively functional. The film also delves into the interpersonal dynamics among the Flintstones and their neighbors, using the circus setting as a lens through which to examine friendship, rivalry, and the human desire for recognition. Barney and Betty are depicted as loyal companions whose support is tested by the demands of the circus, revealing layers of loyalty, envy, and ambition that are explored with subtlety and humor. One of the film's most striking accomplishments is its handling of spectacle as a narrative device. The circus performances are not merely visual entertainment, but symbolic representations of the characters' struggles, aspirations, and transformations. Fred's journey from reluctant participant to enthusiastic performer mirrors broader themes of self-discovery, adaptability, and the courage to embrace unpredictability. Comparisons to other adaptations of The Flintstones highlight the film's innovative approach. Unlike earlier versions that primarily relied on nostalgia and slapstick humor, El negocio del circo integrates narrative depth, visual sophistication, and thematic resonance. The film balances homage to the original animated series with bold reinventions, demonstrating that established characters can inhabit new contexts without losing their core identity. In addition to narrative innovation, the film excels in pacing and rhythm. High-energy circus sequences are interspersed with quieter, reflective moments that allow characters and audiences to process emotional stakes. This oscillation mirrors the natural ebb and flow of life, reinforcing the film's relatability despite its prehistoric and fantastical setting. A particularly resonant moment occurs when Fred, exhausted and frustrated, finds a moment of introspection beneath the circus tents. Here, the audience witnesses the convergence of humor, vulnerability, and personal growth, encapsulating the film's overarching narrative arc. Ultimately, El negocio del circo succeeds because it combines laughter with insight, spectacle with character study, and nostalgia with innovation. By placing familiar characters in unfamiliar contexts, the film invites audiences to consider themes of adaptability, ambition, and the transformative power of performance. The Flintstones' venture into the circus world becomes a microcosm of human experience, reflecting both the joy and chaos of pursuing dreams in a world that is unpredictable, challenging, and ultimately exhilarating.